What is going on, guys? Moyed here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you step by step how to form a smart money setup. Now, in this industry, as you guys know, a lot of us educators, what we do is we pump out a lot of good content, okay? Very valuable, but you guys end up struggling because there's just so much out there and it's not organized, and you end up struggling when it comes down to the chart to actually finding the perfect setup for you, or even finding any good setup at all. So you get boggled out with so much information, so much content out there that you don't have a proper step-by-step guide. Today, guys, I want to have a solution for that. So today I'm going to show you a step-by-step guide on how to get into a trade, how to manage your trade, and then how to get out using the smart money concepts. Now, if you haven't already come across our smart money course, guys, we have that course on our website, fuacademy.io, if you want to get started and signed up there. As you can see on the screen, every single step of that course is labeled, starting you off from the beginner section all the way into the more advanced stuff. So yeah, guys, that took us a long time to create. So if you're interested in that, make sure to head onto our website, check it out. As well as that, we're back using our signals once again. So as you guys know, usually in the summer, we take like 2 to 3 weeks break in the signals. So yeah, that is out, that is back again, the signals are running, so we'll see you guys there. All right, guys, so here we are in the charts now. As I said, I want a step-by-step guide to be short and concise. Now, with what I'm going to show you here today, there is many different models out there, many different ways to trade this concept with different setups. But today I'm going to keep it very simple and show you one that you can literally rinse and use over and over again. So yeah, let's get into it. Now, one of the first things that you want to do is you have to be able to identify your structure, okay? That's the first thing you're always going to hear me say in any single video I ever make. Identify your structure. So I'm going to take a look at USD/JPY here, for example. Okay, so with USD/JPY, there was a really nice buy model that I'm going to show you here in a second. Now, if we take a look at this structure, okay, the structure is bearish. It's very clear. It's creating lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. And then we had a break of structure right here. So this move right here meant that for me, now I went from being bearish, okay, to being bullish because I broke structure right here, okay? So that's my 1, 2 break of structure. Now what I wait for is a retest down here, okay? I wait for some sort of retest back up to end up creating my creating a new high, okay, to break this previous high that I created. Now that is my first thing. So now I understand. Up until this point, I was only going to be looking for sells, but now since I broke structure, now I'm allowed to look for buys, okay? So in this setup right here, in this trading range, I'm going to start looking for buys and not sells because I broke structure. Does that mean that 100% we're going to be buying? No, sometimes it just could be a fake out to the top or just clearance of liquidity and more down movement. But probability says that I should be now looking for buys. Okay, so my next step is to find an IC. After I identify my structure, after I know that I'm not going to be looking for sell candles anymore, I'm only looking for buy, set up institutional candles. Now I'm trying to find my ICs. So my potential ICs would be here, here, okay, all these last down candles before the up move. Now my most prominent one, the one that really stands out, the really big one right here, is this one. This is clear. This is clearly a strong institutional candle right here, okay? Now, then we pull up our institutional candle checklist. That institutional candle checklist, it's on the course section in the attachments, guys, if you're watching from, if you guys are like part of our mentorship. But if not, basically what the institutional candle checklist says is basically a few guidelines to see if your institutional candlestick is indeed an institutional candle or not, because a lot of candles out there look like an institutional candle but end up not actually being one. Okay, so with this one right here, my first one is, does my candle clear liquidity? That's my first question that I'm going to ask. Yes, it does. So see, liquidity got cleared right here, these lows, and then we get that push up. Okay, next thing would be obviously for a break of structure. I need to see a break of structure coming away from my institutional candle. So this is my institutional candle, break of structure to the top. Okay, so this is clearly an institutional candle for us. It hits the checklist. There are a few other things, but take my word for it. For now, this is an institutional candlestick. Okay. Okay, so we mark out our institutional candle, and now what I'm trying to do is then see how many confirmations I have around this IC. Okay, so the third step is to see if there's at least 3 to 4 confirmations around this IC. The institutional candle is your entry. That's one. Okay, then you're looking for another confirmation to see if price is going to actually end up coming down here first of all. Okay, now potentially price might not come down here at all. This is just a potential setup that we're looking for. That's what we're doing. We're looking at potential setups that could occur in the market, and then we're looking to only execute them if price comes down to our level. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Now my first confirmation will be that I have an imbalance right above my institutional candle. That's confirmation number one. So this is my institutional candle right here, and then I have the imbalance right there. So that's IPA, inefficient price action. Then the second confirmation would be my fib. So I drag my fib from low to high. Okay, and you can see my institutional candle is sitting right around my 78.6 level. Okay, so this is a discounted area where I want to be buying from. That's another confirmation for me right here. Okay, my third confirmation will then usually occur once price reaches my price action, once price reaches my institutional candle. Okay, so there are multiple different confirmations out there, and some are higher than others, and there's ways to really increase the probability of your trade, right? But what I'm showing you guys here is simple steps that you can potentially take. Okay, so yeah, these are the most simplest, probably one of the simplest setups that you can trade out there. Might not be as high probable as the ones, more advanced ones that we teach, but this is definitely a solid one, and literally the win rate of this is pretty high as long as you use it in the higher time frames. Okay, so I usually like to stick to the higher time frames when I have less confirmations, especially if I'm not using order flow, stuff like that. Order flow can be another confirmation that you can use for this type of setup, but I'm trying to keep it simple, so we won't be discussing that today. Now my next confirmation would be once my trade triggers right here. Okay, so once price comes up near my level, the confirmation is that price starts slowing down as we reach our institutional candle. Okay, so obviously we have our imbalance filled. Once our imbalance gets filled, look, price went from absolutely dropping, okay, and then now we are getting some sort of buying interest as we're approaching our institutional candle. So these are signs that we potentially now starting to have signs of buyers coming into the market. And then once we start consolidating just above my point of interest, okay, this is a very nearly clear-cut sign that we're going to reverse. Once you get that consolidation, you got that one more push down, okay, that will be the move basically to clear your liquidity right here off that consolidation. My next step would be to usually clear the liquidity up on top of here. So basically I will look to buy then just after that consolidation occurs, and I get the clearance of the lows right here, and you can see what happens here, just like so, bit by bit. Price plays. As you can see, as price is playing right here, it's just clearing liquidity as it goes, clearing liquidity as it goes. Okay, see, manipulate that low, manipulate this low, and then there you have it. Okay, so then price buys up from here, and that would have been a successful buy setup for you. Now if I get out the replay right here, there we go. So that would have been a beautiful buy setup that you could have capitalized on right there. So to recap, what am I looking for? Okay, now the last thing to form your setup, obviously, is, I actually forgot to touch base on it, is to find your target. Now obviously, as you guys know, that is the confirmation for an entry. Now the stop loss is very simple. The stop loss goes right below the close of my institutional candle. Nearly forgot to actually go through that. So my stop loss goes below the close or above the close of the institutional candle. My last step would be to find my target. My target becomes an area of liquidity, an area of imbalance, whatever it is, another point of interest that potentially could give the market a reaction. So in this scenario, my target would probably be this imbalance right here. So I would want to get this imbalance filled, and then my higher time frame, kind of longer term target would be this double top right here. Okay, simple as that. So that is pretty much it, guys. To recap, first of all, you want to find your market structure, find your institutional candle, see if there's 3 to 4 confirmations around your institutional candle, buy confirmations, okay, that we're looking for buy setup confirmations. And then lastly, you want to make sure that you have a breaker structure, first of all here, and then you want to have a breaker structure here. You want to identify your breaker structure as the price triggers, okay, and you want to identify the breaker structure as the buy away from the institutional candle. Now, can you get into the trade before you get the breaker structure right here? Yes, you can. Might be a bit more riskier, less probable, but if you're not used to getting in on a trade on the lower time frame or waiting for that break structure and you don't know how to do it, sometimes it's just better to just execute the trade. Okay, just keep it simple. Maybe it might be less probability, but keeping it simple for yourself. Just execute the trade and see how it goes then, and just let your stop loss do the fighting for you. Okay, and just let the trade breed. And this scenario, yeah, you had a bit of consolidation right here, the manipulation occurring, blah, blah. Even if you don't know anything that was going on right here, doesn't matter. You had your 3 confirmations, you took the steps, and then lastly, you had your stop loss set, your target would be an imbalance or an area of liquidity. And that is a simple smart money setup there for you guys. Okay, so I hope you guys gained a bit of value from this video, a lot of value. So that is pretty much it, guys. I'm gonna leave you guys here. Do not want to take up too much of your time. Hopefully you guys gained a lot of value from this video. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, guys. We're so close to hitting 10k subscribers. So drop a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Have a good day. Bye bye.